Alrighty, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy White Album here. Before I get started, just want to let you guys know, to those who don't know or who haven't seen my previous Mortal Kombat video, I have some good news. I did get a brand new PC. Today is Monday. At the time of recording this, it is Monday, so I should be getting it within this week. I think they said by like the 2nd or the 3rd. I have to check again. But kind of coincides the reason why I haven't been uploading as much lately. I kind of, just to do a quick little recap, I did state that when it comes to recording these videos, I do record off my laptop, and I only have so much limited hard drive space. So when it comes to like these hour-long videos, for Holy Night and Persona, they eat a lot of that hard drive up. So even by the time I upload them and then delete them, I still have like no room left. You could say I could get a extended hard drive. I do. The problem is that I can't use that in tandem with my microphone, because even with the USB splitter that I have, they don't work together for some reason. So it's kind of a shitty situation, but I make do with it. So I do want to apologize to those who have been waiting for, more Holy Night and more Persona. When I do get this PC, I'm going to definitely go back into rocking those pretty quickly. So I think today's video is going to be relatively short, and I think that's just going to be enough for the news. So let's see. Last time we left off, it was the aftermath of the battle between Sojiro, Aoko, and Alice. And we pretty much got caught up to what happened after that. It's been about, I think, like almost 2 days that Sojiro was knocked out, asleep. And Aoko pretty much informed him that because he already knows a little bit too much, he's gonna be under her and Alice's watch. So it's kind of like a forced contract that he was in. I know I was a little annoyed, but let's get started. Let's get into it, man. I have not played this in a while. I do like this game though. This game is fun. All right, got my water going. Let's just quick load.
そうだった。青崎はこういうやつだった。
Without knowing it, he cracked a smile. He was so lost that he did not know his left from right, but recalling this alone was enough to calm him. The Aoko he knew was different from the one in the House of Mirrors. She was not the brooding girl he saw there. He felt a pang of nostalgia. The Aoko he knew was brisk in movement and unfaltering in gaze, just like this one. She was the same as when he first met her, moody, yet overflowing with confidence, in her element.
ほら、急いだ。
Let's go, chop chop.
アリスがさっきから居間でお待ちかねよ。
Alice is waiting for us in the drawing room. She was already outside the door, standing in the chilly corridor.
寝たきりの辛さを知らないだろう、青崎は。
You must not know what it's like to be bedridden, Aozaki. Grunting and groaning, Sojiro eventually got up to his feet. His body, heavy and stiff while he was lying down, cried out in pain as he tried to stand and walk. Every step sent shooting pains through his bones. Despite this, he put on a calm face and made his way towards Aoko. Typically, he was quick to not pay any mind to life's little struggles, but these pains, he needed to force himself to consciously ignore them. In other words, he was displaying false bravado, an uncharacteristic reaction for someone who never suppressed their true feelings.
驚いた。あんた本当にタフね。
Amazing. You really are tough, huh? No, just give me a bottle of Aleve and I'll be good in the next, 30 minutes.
ありがとう。けど心は弱いんだ。
Thanks. It's just my heart that's fragile.
そう。参考までに心に留めておくわ。できるだけ優しく扱えるようにね。
Oh yeah? I'll keep that in mind and try not to hurt your precious feelings. I feel like he should be saying that to you, Aoko. Naturally, her voice was devoid of any true empathy. She turned away from the once more dejected Sojiro and began walking briskly down the corridor.
と。
Oh, and, just then she stopped. Feet snapped together, as though something had popped into her head. And just as if she was remembering something she had forgotten, in a completely trivial way.
それじゃあ行くわよ。ついてきて、宗十郎。
Follow me, Sojiro. She gallantly turned back the way she was heading. The words sounding so natural she spoke them.
Oh.
Aoko did not see the look in Sojiro's eyes as he heard her words. For though she worked in the arcane, the spell Aoko had woven was apparent to everyone but her. After blinking his eyes as if blinded by something, Sojiro casually nodded and followed behind her. Man, I'm already fucking up. Yeah, please forgive me. Like I said, I haven't played this in about 2 weeks, so my reading voice is probably not up to par at the moment. The sheer size of the interior was daunting. The 3 floors of this mansion contained more rooms than Sojiro's entire apartment building, except their size was excessive. Here, the mansion's rooms seemed too numerous for so few inhabitants, its lavish carpeted halls cold and dreary. The guest room that Sojiro had been sleeping in was on the 2nd floor of the east wing. A staircase heading down to the 1st floor was at the end of the corridor, at the center of the mansion. Winter sunlight beamed through the windows, which only made the empty corridor appear even lonelier. Okay. So we already had the action phase, so we'll see what else is in store for the girls and boy. The center of the mansion was topped by the I fucked up. By a vaulted skylight overlooking the 1st floor. The staircase connecting the 1st and 2nd floors lined its walls. Another staircase at the other end of the 2nd floor corridor presumably led to the attic, or storeroom of sorts, on the 3rd floor. Paying no mind to Sojiro's gawking, Aoko descended the stairs with familiar steps. The foyer was a place of white and wood grain. Its hardwood floors shone brightly under the sunlight coming in from the ceiling, and the tall white walls were spotless and brawny. There was a staircase leading to the 2nd floor, and a long unused fireplace. A neglected telephone sat on a table, opposed of a solemn grandfather clock, or opposite, not opposed. It was more like an old castle than a mansion. Aoko shot Sojiro a callous stare, who stood captivated by the otherworldly scenery.
今はこっちよ。ぼさっとしない。
Hey, snap out of it. The drawing room is this way. She grabbed the knob of the door next to the stairs. There were 4 floors to the foyer. Foyer? I don't know how you say it. Foyer. And the easternmost as you entered the house led to the drawing room. The door on the opposite side of the foyer led to the mansion's west wing. To the south was the entrance. Man, what the hell is it with these protagonists and having big-ass houses, dude? First it's Aoko and Alice, then it's fucking Shiki in the Tono mansion. The hell? On the north side was one more door next to the fireplace. Tucked underneath the stairs, this door connected to a bathroom, unbeknownst to Sojiro. Due to the lack of windows, the 1st floor's corridors were not well lit. If the 2nd floor was a seldom attended infirmary, and the foyer a stairwell in some foreign castle, then the 1st floor corridor was a windowless labyrinth, not unlike the corridors of a hotel. Although it had not been long since Sojiro came to the city, even he could feel this place was out of the ordinary. Well, it's more Western, styled, so it makes sense, right? Seeing as how he was going to be stuck here for the foreseeable future, he found it hard to get excited about living in a haunted house.
そこが今で、奥が厨房ね。簡単な料理ぐらいはできるようになってるから。
Let me turn down my headphones real quick. So the drawing room, and a little farther down is the kitchen. It's fine for cooking simple meals.
今の隣にはサンルームがあるんだけど、ここが食卓の代わり。って、そんなの後でいっか。
Here, next to the drawing room is the sunroom, which we use as a dining room, but we'll get into that later. Aoko said, reaching for a door along the dim corridor. However, she paused before turning the knob. She flashed Sojiro a meaningful glance, which she quickly withdrew. Then, without further ado, she opened the door.
お待たせ。
Fucking
承諾
Sandy.
したわよ、あいつ。
Sorry for the wait. He's on board. I'm sorry, just the fucking Sani logo instead of Sony is fucking hilarious to me. she said to Alice as she entered the drawing room. After hesitating for a moment, Sojiro entered after her. Compared to the corridor, the drawing room was unexpectedly modern. The carpeted floor, leather sofas, and a large 30-inch television were more than what Sojiro had come to expect in a normal home. I mean, to be fair, you live in an apartment, my guy, so you really don't expect much when you live in an apartment. Especially as a high schooler. But, you know. In this family-oriented room, a girl far removed from said setting sat quietly on the sofa. Aoko sat on the sofa across from the girl in all black. This gave Sojiro two seating options. Next to Aoko Aozaki, or next to Alice Kuoji. So fuck, I'll just stand here. There you go. Look at that Chad stance, dude. Look at that Chad stance, bro. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to stand right here. I'm good. After about 2 seconds of deliberation, he decided to stand by the wall, as neither option appealed. Aoko and Alice were facing each other across a coffee table. The clean, perfectly level table somehow added to the austere atmosphere. I'm about to look that word up.
当事者も認めたことだし、これで何の問題もないわね、アリス。
And since he agreed, you shouldn't have any objections, right, Alice? Alice gave one deep nod in response to her non-question. He was like, fucking kill me, dude. From his position against the wall, they looked as though they were clearing up some, niggling? Niggling grievance? Is that a word? Man, this game be adding shit the words that I've never heard or seen, dude. I was playing Hogwarts and one of the characters said burgled. I guess that's like a word that you got like robbed. It's like burglary, but it's burgled. That shit made me laugh for like a solid 2 minutes. Alright, here we go. Sojiro got the feeling that the two did not entirely see eye to eye concerning what to do with him.
そうね。原因も究明しないといけないし。
I suppose not. But we still need to investigate the cause. She cast a damn, bro. You see that side eye, bro? That side eye she's giving Sojiro, dude? Damn. You know what, Alice? Hey, maybe next time don't fucking do a spell ceremony in the middle of a fucking park where everybody goes to, okay? Like, let's be honest here. They have nobody's fault to blame but themselves, okay? Even with a spell barrier. Like, come on now. She cast a sideways look at Sojiro with those darkly shaded eyes of hers. Her voice shared the same cold indifference, making it abundantly clear that she had no intention of accepting him as a housemate.
けれど、あなたはそれでいいの?
And you're fine with this? He's gonna be like, yeah, fuck, of course not. What the fuck?
遊
I
園
wanna
地
go
での
home.
ことを忘れてはいないでしょ?
I do hope you haven't forgotten about what happened at the amusement park. Again, that was all your fault, not his. Alice's voice was a mixture of judgment and scrutiny. She was aware that from the outsider's perspective, she and Aoko appeared dangerous. That's because you are. She wanted to know Sojiro was up to the challenge of living with such people. I mean, he literally has no other fucking choice. It's literally the choice is forced to live with them or die. It's kind of like it's a kind of a lose-lose situation, you know, from his perspective, so.
そりゃ夢だと思い込みたいけど、ちゃんと覚えてるし、できるだけ無事に済ませるには、これが一番無難そうだ。
I wish it had all been a bad dream, but I remember it perfectly. Above all else, it was the only way they would let him live. Alice responded apathetically with a non-committal murmur. She suddenly placed a small object on the table with a clink. She pulled her pale fingers away from the small glass bottle. The glass, more pale blue than transparent, was enough to signify its high quality. That's that fucking straight up pure crystal, but that's not diamond, that's crystal. I don't know if that's good or not, so. With a crane-like motion, she removed the stopper. And she says in like Shang Tsung's voice, she's like, "Your soul is mine," and then he fucking dies. That'd be wild. A game ends just right there. Even though this was the first time he had seen such a thing, something about it made him uneasy. What was it that made him sad? Or Aoko's standoffish behavior only added to his concern. Alice once again fixed her eyes on Sojiro, who was bracing himself for the worst. The glint in her eyes was bewitching. With not a single emotion apparent on her face, she called his name.
Shizuki-kun?
Okay.
はい。
Huh? The moment he responded to her whispered call, his surroundings began to transform. The air grew thick, so thick it took on a color and shape. The density and discomfort that coiled around his skin made him seem like the air had become words. Huh? Oh, he's in the... I'm guessing he's in that fucking bottle. Oh god, no. Opening his mouth to gasp for air, the words invaded his lungs. Instinctively, he covered his mouth with his right hand and clutched his chest with his left, both hands appearing clear as mud. Even the thickest of mountain fogs never seized his senses like this. If he had to come up with an analogy, no words could quite describe it, but it was like he was standing in the pages of a newspaper. Their first sense to adjust to this new sensation was his hearing. Then his breathing stabilized, yet the feeling of suffocation remained. There was nothing restraining him that he could see, but he felt intense claustrophobia. Before he felt shock at the sudden change, he reached out in an attempt to find an escape. But his outstretched hands found only emptiness. It seemed contradictory that a place with no walls and a wide view could feel so cramped. Spirited away in a dense fog. Back in the mountains, such superstitions never seemed real to him, until now. And then, he finally noticed. A surprise to beat all surprises. The drawing room had not changed into another world at all. He knew this for certain because he could still see the room he was just in through the fog. As well as the two girls, Aoko and Alice, watching him closely. It was simply a problem of perspective. The floor was dark and perfectly flat. Looking up, there were two of There the two of them stood. The two girls were likely impossibly gargantuan clouds, coldly looking down at him. Again, I like how they say coldly. It's not his fault you guys are fucking morons for doing magic in the middle of an open fucking park at like probably 9 o'clock at night. That's not his fault, the hell. Remembering the structure of the room and laying out the furniture, Sojiro's unsurpassed candor finally grasped his predicament. The parade at the amusement park had nothing on this. Somehow, he was inside the glass bottle that Alice produced only moments ago.
図らずも。
That was unexpected. Marveling at Alice's wickedness, Aoko glanced at the small bottle on the table.
2日前の夜と同じ状況になったわね。今回そいつは起きてるけど。
It's the same as 2 nights ago, only this time he's awake. Aoko calmly mused. Alice, however, was not looking down at the bottle. Instead, her eyes were locked on Aoko.
意外ね。青子は怒ると思ってたのに。
I'm surprised. I thought you would be upset.
いや、私も似たようなこと考えてたから。
Not really. I thought about doing something similar. So not only are they violating this poor man's rights, they're just like, well, look, listen here, buddy. You are fucking scum in this house, okay? Yeah, it's our fault we fucking did this shit out in the open, but it's your fault for looking, moron.
少しは魔術ってもんを思い知らせておかないと困るでしょ
He needed to be taught a lesson about magecraft anyways. Yeah, like you weren't not trying to kill him 2 fucking nights ago, Aoko, are you... Okay. Okay. I'm just trying not to get annoyed for my boy here.
アリスがやってくれるなら止めはしないし、怒りもしないわ。
You're saving me the trouble, to tell the truth. I'm not even mad.
ま、こっちが予定していたものより何倍もめちゃくちゃだけど。
Though, this is pretty hardcore, even for me. Aoko did not take her eyes off the bottle as she spoke. Although she did her best to not feign indifference towards Alice's magecraft, she could not completely hide her curiosity. The figure inside the bottle, likely having caught on to what was happening, tried various things like flailing in its arms and sprinting around. The surface of the bottle was cloudy, so it was hard to make out exactly what was happening inside.
ところで、これって私にくれたやつとは別物みたいだけど。
By the way, this looks totally different from the one you gave me.
あれより作りは細かいわ。
This one took more time to create. Yeah, because all I did with the other one was peel off the fucking label off a Tylenol bottle.
青子にあげたのは使い捨ての、隔離するだけのものよ。これはお互いの声も聞こえるから。
The one I gave you was disposable, and only made to isolate the subject. This one allows for two-way communication. Of course it
へ
does.
え。けど、その割には何の反応もないわね。
Really? He doesn't seem to be replying, though.
青子には聞こえないだけよ。
You just can't hear him. Alice said calmly, finally dropping her gaze to the bottle. Just then, the figure inside stopped moving. It appeared only Alice had connection to the world inside the bottle.
なんだ、術者にしか得点はないんだ。
Lame. Only the caster gets to have fun? Aoko sighed, losing interest. Ignoring Aoko, Alice opened her mouth as to speak to someone not all there together. I fucked that one up. All together there.
どう？これでも一番無難だと思う？
How about now? Still think this is the safest option? The person she was talking to was none other than the one inside the bottle. He's going to be like, well, fucking course not. You guys are forcing me here. She was, of course, referring to Sojiro's earlier comment. It was a way of testing the boy who implied that living in this mansion seemed safe.
いきなり小瓶に閉じ込めて聞き返すあたり、容赦ないというか。この子の洋館への執着も問題よね。
I would be like, look, this is going to piss both of you off, but it's your fault. And they're going to be like, what? Suddenly trapping him in a bottle and interrogating him is pretty ruthless, but even more worrisome is her attachment to this mansion. Then again, considering Aoko had invited this witness to a house of mirrors for a fight to the death, she was not in position to criticize. Definitely. She would make sure Alice did not let her emotions get the best of her, but for now she was content to observe as a bystander. After a moment, Alice's expression changed. She must have gotten an answer to her question. Without any way to tell what the situation was inside the bottle, Aoko had no idea what the answer was. However, only that Alice's face was the one she had made when the boy she was talking to said she wanted what she wanted to hear.
私が言えることでもないけど。
I suppose I'm not one to talk, but for an instant, she glanced at Aoko. Slightly shaking her head, she reached for the small bottle.
ほんと。物好きね、しずきくんは。
This Suzuki is quite a strange one. She said his name for what seemed like a forlorn frown. As soon as she removed the stopper, the air in the room quivered. The boy who had been casting a shadow on the wall until a minute ago now leaned against it for support. Aoko turned around to face Sojiro right behind her, resting her elbow over the back of the sofa.
どう？気分は。
How do you feel?
見ての通り、めちゃくちゃだ。
What does it look like to you, asshole? Messed up. Sojiro answered with unusual hostility. Aoko was reminded of his strange behavior, as she was sure that he would be scared or shocked, not angry.
夢で似たようなものを見てなかったら、今頃心臓が止まってたところだ。そこはついてたと思う。
If I hadn't already seen something similar in a dream, my heart probably would have stopped. I'm lucky it didn't.
信じられないのは、なんでいちいち実践するかってことだ。魔術は怖いものなんだって言えば済むだろうに。
What I can't believe...
それと、物騒な青崎の声、聞こえてたぞ。
What I can't believe is why you felt the need to use your magecraft on me. You could have just said it was scary and left it at that. Plus, I could hear the threatening things you said, Alzaki.
物騒で悪うございました。
My sincerest apologies.
けど、 言葉じゃなくてきちんと実感してもらいたかったのは本当よ。
But it is true that I wanted you to feel it for yourself.
どう？魔術ってもんを甘く見てたでしょ、宗十郎。
At least now you'll take magecraft seriously, won't you, Sojiro? As much as she hated, fuck, I fucked that one up. As much as he hated to admit it, she was right. Though it was not that he had taken magecraft lightly, but it merely that he couldn't understand it.
けど、実感うんぬん言われても困る。
I still don't really get it though, even after that experience.
これまでの青崎の無茶っぷりと、今のわけのわからなさはとても比べられない。
Compared to the crazy shit I've seen you do, Alzaki, whatever the heck just happened to me was hardly unbelievable.
そりゃそうよ。アリスと比べないでよね。
Of course not. Alice and I are totally different.
アリスの魔術は私たちの中でもデタラメで、もう言葉にできないぐらい最悪なんだって言ったでしょ？
I've already told you. Even in our world, her magecraft is considered over the top and unspeakably horrible.
失礼ね。人命を脅かすという点なら、青子の方がよっぽどひどいと思うけど。
How rude. When it comes to which of us is more of a threat to human life, I think you're far more dangerous than me.
それよりあなた、本当に彼を殺す気はあったの？
And that's besides the point. I'm starting to harbor doubts about you even wanting to kill him in the first place. Yeah, because he did nothing wrong. That's the thing. He didn't do... If we're being honest, if they want to kill someone else too, they fucking kill TYPEMOON. Fucking... I've already said it before in my last video. Fucking... Sojiro told TYPEMOON what he saw in the park, and that was pretty much all Aoko needed to fucking know. And then once Alice pretty much saw him, she's like, yeah, it was him that saw us. And that was kind of it. Like, what?
一体どんな追い詰め方をすれば、青崎なら多分安全、なんて言葉が返ってくるのかしらね。
You must have been pretty soft on him for him to say he believes that he's safe here.
そんなのあったに決まってるでしょ？
Well, of course I wanted to kill him.
こいつがなんて言ったか知らないけど、絶対意味違うから。
I don't know what he's told you, but you've got it all twisted.
こいつはね、そもそも何が危ないのかやけどするまで気づかない。っ
This guy doesn't realize he's in danger until he gets burned.
ていうか、やけどしても、よし、死ななきゃ安い、なんて本気で思っちゃう天然ボケなの。
And even then, he'll probably think, well, at least I'm still alive, and whistle all the way home. That's what I would have. Like, well, shit. Man, I just watched my best friend get fucking ran over by a car, but at least I'm still alive.
ね、そうでしょ、宗十郎。
Isn't that right, Sojiro?
Eh?
Huh? He had no idea why she's suddenly shouting, but he nodded anyway, just to be safe. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever. The drawing room had become awfully noisy. Alice sat, watching the two, at a complete loss. Nah, she's looking at fucking Sojiro like, yo, he's long, tall, and handsome, dude. And so, Sojiro accepted his supervised life in the mansion. Not like he not like he had a choice, right? I mean, come on now. And that he would be living under the same roof as two professional mages. Having experienced firsthand how dangerous that life could get, he was finally at peace with the situation. Not that he wanted to be.
まあ、そういうことなら。
God, what a savage response. Imagine almost dying to Aoko, then having to survive a night of fucking just pure fucking nightmare, horror, wonderland shit against Alice. Wake up and they get put into a fucking crystal bottle. And this is his face, dude. Savage, man. That's why I fuck with Sojiro, dog. If that's how it's gonna be, then oh well. And I think with that oh well, that's where we're gonna end. We're gonna end it off on Sojiro's face there. So hopefully you guys did enjoy, and hopefully this little bit of 30 minutes or close to 30 minutes gets you by. Like I said, when I get my PC in, I'm definitely going to go back into doing my longer videos, my hour-long videos on my Holy Knight and Persona playthroughs, because I've been enjoying both those games, and I like to continue uploading them on the channel. With my fighting game videos in the middle of those. But hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy WhiteAlbum. I'll see you guys next time.